everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about counting atoms. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about counting atoms. We want to know how many carbons, how many hydrogens, how many oxygens are present in each compound. There are a few steps that you must follow. The first step is to list all the elements in the compound. The second step is to count the atoms. Remember, the subscript indicates the number that there are. The subscript is that bottom number, okay? And if there is no number, that simply indicates a 1. A couple things to remember. If it's a parentheses, you need to distribute the number on the outside of the parentheses. And if they're a coefficient, that coefficient goes with everything throughout the entire compound. Let's do a couple practice problems together. The first problem that we're going to do together is Na2SO3. So we already have the compound. The first step we want to do is list our elements. So we have Na, S, and O. Okay, those are our 3 elements. Remember, anytime you have a capital letter, you have a new element. So the next thing we want to do is list how many there are. There are 2 Nas. There is 1 sulfur. And since there is no number by sulfur, we know that it's a 1. And oxygen then is 3. That's it. Okay, let's try the next one together. Here we have 4AgNO3. Our first step is to list the elements. We have Ag, N, and O. Okay, so now we have to figure out how many there are. We see there is no number by Ag, so that's a 1. But there's a 4 in front, so this 4 gets distributed with everything. So 4 times 1 is 4. Nitrogen, 4 times 1 is 4. And oxygen, 4 times 3 is 12. The 4 in the front is kind of like saying you have 4 of them, except you don't write it 4 times. So AgNO3, 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 AgNO3. So this 4 takes the place of all 4 of those. So it's much easier to write this than instead of writing them out 4 times. All right, let's do 2 more together. All right, we have Al2 and then SO43. All right, so this time we have parentheses. So we're still going to follow our steps. The first step is to write our elements. We have Al, we have S, and we have O. Okay, we know that Al is 2 because there's a 2 there. Now, since we have the parentheses, this 3 is going to get distributed, or you multiply with both. So sulfur is a 1 in parentheses, but since there's a 3 on the outside, 3 times 1 is 3. And oxygen, 3 times 4 is 12. So there we have it. Okay. All right, let's try one more together. This one's going to be 3Al2CO3. Okay, so our first step is to list our elements. We have Al, we have C, and we have O. Now this one we have parentheses and a coefficient. So we want to take it one step at a time. Al is 2, but since there's a coefficient in the front, we have to multiply by 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. Now we go to carbon. We have carbon in parentheses, so let's do the parentheses first. Carbon is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Times the 3 for the coefficient is 9. All right, oxygen is also in parentheses. There's 3. 3 times 3 is 9, but there's a 3 in the front as well. So 9 times 3 is 27. Okay? All right. Hopefully you guys are starting to understand counting atoms. If you have any questions, please message me. Good luck!